Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing a Battle for Zendikar Swiss draft. Alright, open Desolation Twin. It's a good card, but I definitely don't like first picking 10 drops. What are good cards in here? I could take the Archive. It's playable in most decks. It's a good card. Leaves me completely open. There's a Nullifier, but that's a 2-color card, which isn't the best first pick. Cutthroat is a great card in ally decks. Black-white life gain, black-green tokens. It's a pretty versatile card. Gideon's Reproach, good in any white deck, so that's also very versatile. And it's removal. Nothing else really worth considering, I think, first pick. So it's Reproach, Cutthroat, or Archive. Pretty tempted to just first pick the Archive, so I stay completely open. I think that's justifiable, definitely. Let the draft play out a little bit more, see what we're doing. Yeah, we'll stay completely open with Archive. Okay, I'm never going to get used to that, am I? Never going to get used to that. Okay, follow-up pick. Let's see here. Veteran War Leader, 2-color card, pretty good card. A little bit dependent on being an ally deck. There's a Healer, which is good for black-white allies. Miasma, which is fine, not amazing. Unified. There's nothing in here that's like crazy good. I'm trying to think what just the best card in this pack is. It's probably, I guess it's War Leader, but yeah, I'm not really giving up much taking the War Leader. It is the best card. Could take the Miasma. Board wipes are good. I think Boiling Earth gets a lot more respect than Miasma, but Miasma is a very good card in this format. Very control card. I think I'm actually going to go with the monocolor card over the 2-color War Leader, which I do think is good, by the way. Okay, third pick. So, Eyeless Watcher, Titan's Presence, Rot Shambler. None of these cards are amazing. If I take Titan's Presence, that leads me down a path of, like, a blue-black. Typically. Could also be a blue-red. Those are, could also be black-red. Those are all basically the devoid strategies. There's nothing insanely good in this pack. Eyeless Watcher is a good card for tokeny decks. I've got good defense against tokeny decks right now. I think I'll just take the Titan's Presence. The devoid decks are very strong. And even though we don't have any yet, Titan's Presence is a great card if we end up being able to make a devoid strategy work. Okay. Transgress keeps us on with the Miasma. There's a Smoldering Marsh, which I guess opens me up for a better mana base for a black-red devoid. I'll probably just take Transgress. It stays on color with Miasma, which I think is good. Once again, nothing insanely good in here. Another black-white card, which should be okay. But let's take Transgress. Okay. Outnumber, 5th pick. Possibly a sign. It's a good removal spell in red, definitely. There's good green cards. I feel like if green is open, we're going to see them late anyway, so it doesn't matter. Another ally encampment. I'll probably just take Outnumber. Don't have any creatures yet, but that's all right. Okay. 6th pick Stone Fury. There's also a Mire's Malice in here. I think Stone Fury is probably better than Mire's Malice. It's pretty hard removal. Mire's Malice is good too, though. They're both good. I think Stone Fury doesn't go as late as... Well, actually, I don't know about that. They're both probably equally strong. So I could take the Mire's Malice and stay more open to, like, blue-black, but we haven't seen a lot of good blue. I think red-black is something that we can try and go down. Like, if I end up in red-black, I'd rather have Stone Fury. If I don't end up in red, I would definitely like to have a Mire's Malice. Mire's Malice works a little bit better with the Archive. I'll probably still take Stone Fury, though. Okay, Nettle Drone's a great card. Seeing that this late is a good sign too. It's incredibly good with Titan's Presence and basically all of our other cards. Not all of our other cards. I guess we only have 3 colorless cards otherwise, but Nettle Drone's going to be really good with Titan's Presence and is very good with the other colorless spells we have. So, all right. Okay, Dominator Drone is definitely a card that this deck wants. Also works well with Titan's Presence. There's a turn against in here, but we're creature light at the moment and we have some good removal. So let's take the Dominator Drone here. Another chance at Myers Malice, but Dominator Drone's actually a very good card for the Black-Red Devoid. It's like a card that deck definitely wants. Okay, I might just want the Culling Drone because it works with Titan's Presence. It has synergy with Dominator Drone and Nettle Drone. I mean, I could take Swarm Surge, but we're still creature light, and Ondu Champion doesn't really fit in thematically with this deck. I don't really think Culling Drone's a great card, but it's fine. It, like I said, it works with Titan's Presence. It synergizes with Nettle Drone and Dominator Drone, and it turns on like Mindrakers we might see late and stuff like that. All right, I'll take the Grave Birthing here. Could play it. Could actually take Looming. Maybe I want the Looming Spires. Makes our Culling Drone a little bit better. Actually, it's pretty good with Nettle Drone too. All right. Late green, kind of as expected. I guess Volcanic Upheaval for sideboard. It's a pretty difficult card to sideboard into. None of these cards are crazy good. I guess Oron Reef Invoker is probably the best one. Rot Shambler's good in specific decks. I'll cut the red card anyway. I want all the red. Give up a couple blue cards. All right. Guess we'll take a green fight spell. Warpaint? Maybe. Who knows? All right. Not a bad start. I feel like we didn't get like insanely good signs that this was open, but we got a fairly late Nettle Drone. Got a fairly late Dominator Drone. Wow, Drowner of Hope is super strong. There is a Deathless Behemoth in here too. Drowner of Hope is definitely the strongest card here, but making 3 color is going to be dependent on having a mana base that functions for us here. There's also Complete Disregard, but I think I would take Deathless Behemoth over that. It's just a really powerhouse 6-drop. It also works well with Hedron Archive. I could take the Drowner of Hope and hope that I can just splash for it. It's one of the strongest cards you can get, but I mean, Deathless Behemoth is insanely strong too. Like if I take Deathless Behemoth, I don't have to move into blue, because we do know blue is getting cut. In pack 1, there was no blue. We do only have, well, we have 4 pretty good red cards though. Well, I guess not Warpaint. We have 3 pretty good red cards and like 4 pretty good black cards. I think we're going to take the less powerful Behemoth over the Drowner of Hope just so I don't have to move into blue. Even though this card is worth splashing. Behemoth doesn't force a splash and is still very strong. All right. Another Nettle Drone. Another Dominator Drone too. Coastal Discovery obviously strong. There's a Mindraker in here we can hope to wheel, but I really like Nettle Drone a lot. I like it more than Dominator Drone, I think. I'm pretty sure I like Nettle Drone more than Dominator Drone. These in multiples get pretty nasty. So we'll take the Drone of Nettles. The Drone of Nettles. Okay. Now we have Retreat to Hagra, which doesn't really synergize that well with what we've got. Probably just take Demon's Grasp, another 5-drop removal. Healer's not really what this deck wants either. There is a Mage, but I don't think that's what this deck wants either. Let's take the Grasp. It's fine. Grasp is playable 5-drop removal that you're never like super happy with, but even Miasma at this point is not looking like a card this deck necessarily wants. Titan's Presence is looking good though. Okay, shot at Mindraker now. I think that this deck is certainly good enough to play Mindraker. We have Transgress, we have Culling Drone, we have Dominator Drone, Titan's Presence. So we already have quite a few ways to exile. That's good enough for Mindraker. Mindraker also works with Titan's Presence and synergizes with all of our other colorless spells. Yeah, I'm on board with Mindraker. Over Blighted Fen, I'm fine with that. Still looking for more creatures anyway. Ooh, Forerunner Slaughter. Well, that's one of the main reasons to be in this deck. So we're going to take that over Ruin Processor and Silent Skimmer, because this card is good. I think this will be actually the first time I've gotten to play it. It's looking insanely good in this deck right now. Okay, Skimmer is totally acceptable with our deck. It's synergizes not with Titan's Presence, but with the Nettle Drones and the Dominator Drones, so I like it. And it gets in, it usually gets in pretty nicely. There's a Boiling Earth in here too, which is good, but we'll take the Silent Skimmer. All right, Sentinel, right on board with what we're doing. I'm totally fine with that. It's actually looking very good in our deck. At this point, we're running another Mindraker's fine. This deck's coming together. We're getting the synergies going here. We've got mostly colorless. In fact, how many non-colorless do we have at this point? 1, 2, 3, 4 spells. It's not bad. All right, Sure Strike is fine. It's a combat trick that you can play. Not really have an issue with. It could take the retreat. I don't love this retreat. Might actually work well with the Nettle Drones though. Let you get in for some damage. Get past blockers. Retreat versus Sure Strike. I'm not sure on that. Retreat's more interesting because it's uncommon. I think I'm going to take that. All right. I mean, I can go deep on Mindrakers. They synergize just fine in this deck. I mean, I'd prefer to not have to play 3, but if we end up with any more Ingesters, they could get really good. Recruit's not really what this deck wants. Probably not playing a Devastator. We don't have enough ramp for it besides the Archive. Probably just take the Devastator anyway. Although, no, I guess I cut a red card. Cut a red card. Second Warpaint. I've yet to see a Warpaint played in this format. We'll let someone have a Brilliant Spectrum, I think. All right, so we're going to be able to make the deck work. Cuts I'd like to make, I guess, are... Probably don't want 3 Mindrakers. I don't think we have enough ingest yet to really make that consistently work. Probably don't want to main deck the Miasma. Ooh, wish I could play that Emiria Shepherd. It's not worth anything, right? I'm just wasting my time even looking it up. Probably, yeah. Bane of Bala Ged is good. I think we'd rather be a little bit more aggressive. I'd prefer to take like the Touch of the Void. Although we're a little bit creature light still, aren't we? We do have good removal already. Bane is pretty expensive though. Still a fine card. It works well with Archive. We don't have any other means to ramp to it. Touch is just really good. There's also Channeler in here. Channeler works well with Titan's Presence, ramps us to expensive stuff, synergizes with everything. I probably still want Touch of the Void though. You can burn face with it. It also exiles for our Mindrakers, yeah. I think Touch of the Void is too synergistically good with what we're doing. I mean, technically, Bane of Bala Ged also exiles stuff for Mindraker, but getting to 7 mana is... Like, Touch of the Void just works perfect with Mindraker. Burn your guy, exile it, Mindraker, discard. It's just good value. It just seems correct in this deck. Who knows? Maybe we will play triple Mindraker. All right, I mean, there's Gul'Draz, Overseer. I guess there's a Sludge Crawler in here, which might be more... Yeah, it's probably more in line with what we're doing. Gives us more early plays, which we don't have a lot of. Yeah, and it ingests. I think if we're going to make this triple Mindraker work, which I think at this point maybe we are, we probably want the Sludge Crawler. I think Gul'Draz Overseer is a good card. This deck probably doesn't need it. Let's stick to our colorless deck plan. If I can cut the curve down, Kiora. Isn't she a couple tickets still, too? If she's a couple tickets, I'll just take her, because we're going to be able to make this deck work. What is she down to now? She's still at 2 tickets. I'll take her. 2 and some change. There's a Vestige, which I would play, which is actually a good card. But we're like good on 4 drops, whatever. I'll take a 2-ticket card. Let's see here. None of these cards really matter. I think Grove Rumbler might be the strongest. Snapping Gnarlid, because it's a 2-drop, could be. something a green deck wants. Merc Strider's pretty good for the blue decks. Maybe I hate the Merc Strider. It could be annoying. All right, second Sludge Crawler. I like it. Another outnumber. We only have 12 creatures currently. 12 creatures is pretty low. We're going to have to up our creature count if we want to make outnumber work, our first one. So I think we got to take Sludge Crawler number 2, which I'm fine with. Another shot at Blighted Fen too, but we'll take this Sludge Crawler. All right, I mean, I can take Processor Assault. I don't think it's a good card. We have some ingest going for us though. We have double Sludge Crawler, Culling Drone, Transgress, Touch, Presence, Dominator Drone. Yeah, we actually have a lot of ways to exile. I think I'm going to sideboard Miasma. I could take the Slide Runner, but I'm fine taking Processor Assault here. Bone Splinters or Sure Strike. I don't think this is a Bone Splinters deck. We have a little bit creature light. Probably don't want the Sure Strike either. Maybe I play it over a Demon's Grasp. Probably not, though. Probably don't need Bone Splinters either, though. Like I said, I'm a little creature light. Guess Bone Splinters is something I'd prefer not to play against. Third Sludge Crawler? Alright, I mean, problem with Sludge Crawler is going super deep. There can be problems with that, but I think for now it's fine. Really, the problem is it's like you can't mana sink into a million of them, but we're creature light and it synergizes fine with our deck and we have Processor Assault. Yeah, it seems correct. I'm not going to play Alter's Reap. I don't care about Plummet. Alright, we'll take Crumble to Dust. None of these cards matter either. I guess we'll take Scythe Leopard. Call the Scions. Actually, I might sideboard into Pathway Arrows. Hate the Gnarlid. Sure. Alright, this deck actually came together pretty nicely. And we have to make a cut. Oddly enough, I think Processor Assault seems fine. We have a lot of ways to ingest. Triple Mindbreaker looks really good too, actually. Maybe we can cut the Retreat. Seems like something we could cut. I think Archive might be a lot less necessary in this deck too, huh? Like, what is Archive really doing for us? Ramps this to a turn 5 Behemoth, but nothing else. It does give you some card advantage, but it comes at a cost. I think this deck is aggressive enough where we probably don't need Archive. It just seems like something this deck doesn't need. We're pretty light mana. If I'm playing 18 lands, I don't need another thing that generates mana. Like, this looks pretty aggressive. Mana sinks, I guess we don't have many mana sinks, do we? That could be a reason to play 17 lands. Our curve is really not that bad. But, oh, these are mana sinks. Okay. Because of the Sludge Crawler, we have 3 Sludge Crawlers. That could justify 18 lands a little bit more. Retreat is a mana, like, not a mana sink, but a good reason to play extra lands. I'm not entirely convinced this is an 18 land deck, but I guess one of them is like a Looming Spires. So it's kind of like a spell. Not really, though. This looks fine to me. I can accept this. I think we could get flooded here, but I mean, at the same time, a reason to not be too terribly worried about getting flooded is that, yeah, I think it's a 9-9 split is correct. But a reason to not be terribly worried about getting flooded is that we have spells that are going to take cards out of their hand. So even if we are getting flooded, it's coming at the cost of a card out of their hand. 3/3s are pretty decent in this format. Our removal is good. Like, Outnumber is a little bit worse than normal, but still fine. Processor Assault actually looks good for once. We actually dismantle hands fairly well here. Transgress, triple Mindbreaker. These are going to be 2-for-1s, I feel like, most of the time. I'm on board with this deck, actually. I think this could work nicely for us. So it's going to be dependent on drawing an adequate number of spells, but Nettle Drones are going to do some serious legwork in this deck, too. So, and we have Titan's Presence. Like, our removal is pretty insane, actually. Outnumber, Processor Assault, Titan's Presence, Touch, Demon's Grasp, Stone Fury. That's a lot of removal. All right. Yeah, this is the deck. This is an interesting one. I haven't played a hyper aggro black-red in a while, so I'm curious how this does. We'll see. All right, we'll see you round 1.